Folks, welcome to Clash of the Podcast, episode 124. That is consecutive, by the way. And I am Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling. He is Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. And together we are Clash of the Podcast. We are going to be here talking all the latest and greatest in the world of professional wrestling. Also getting input from our wonderful, beautiful chat that is also in the house. I see lots of messages coming in. I appreciate all of you guys. So thank you guys so much for that. We had a great watch along stream last week, did really good numbers. Hats off to Sean for that idea. Yeah, we're doing good things. Big things are popping around here. That's all I could say at this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely happy to be here. Conrad, we're here, man. We're continuing the momentum. The chat's here. You're here. I'm here. I guess there's only one thing left to say, and that's Conrad, drop that thing.
Feels so good to be back. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Sean, how was your Monday today, man? Let's start off with some regular talk.
Yeah, good, man. Good, man. Work today. Getting my feet wet. This is my first full week because I started last Tuesday. So, definitely getting my feet wet. I'm a happier guy, because less stress in the workplace means a happier existence, man. So, everything's going all right.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I just left the gym. I'm feeling like energized but tired at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I feel the same way about some of the topics on today's show. So, yeah, people be ready to chime in and listen up if you have thoughts. Agree or disagree, whatever it may be. With that being said, let's get into the shout-outs here in the beginning here. Clown in the house.
Cleasy, 1-3Z, 4-Tweezy. Says afternoon, everyone.
What is good, Clown? Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for popping in here, man. Always showing love. I hope things are safe. I know he's out in Cali, I believe. I know that they're having a lot of fires out there and such, so please be careful. And you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't also start off with RIP to Black Bart. We always try to show love to those in professional wrestling who help pave the way. So RIP to Black Bart. We'll dedicate today's show to Black Bart. All the fun and such that we're having.
Yes, sir.
Going back here to the live chat, Ray Thompson in the house.
What up, RT? How you doing, man? Always good to see you.
Says, happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Ray, appreciate you. Conrad, congrats on those Bills. That's one win. We got some hurdles to leap now.
Well, the gauntlet starts this coming week.
The gauntlet started already. I saw people worried first play, like, man, Bills are in trouble. 31 unanswered points later. Shut up.
Well, you got the guy who I consider the MVP coming to town this week. So.
Rumor has it he's not winning it.
Well, I know Josh Allen's going to win it.
No, I heard it's already done. That's the rumor, at least.
Okay.
And it's not him. It's his opponent next week.
Heard you.
Calling it now. Ospreay, Omega, and Matthews versus Takeshita, Fletcher, and Cage at Grand Slam. Could be. Mike Feezy. What's good, fellas?
What up, though?
Mike from The Rock. It's The Rock in your area. Appreciate it. Terrell in the house. I still say Rock is entering the Rumble. Sean, I don't know how I'm feeling about this one.
Well, if you go to hwweekly.com, you will see our predictions. I don't think either one of us predicted The Rock would win the Rumble, but I did predict that he would be world champion in 2025. So, however he gets there is how he gets there. I don't think it'll be the Rumble. But T3Z, if you're right, I would be a happy guy because him entering the Rumble would be kind of dope.
You're not wrong either. I mean, there's still 12 months in the year, folks. Just never forget. And now Rock could show up at any time. Vinny.
The only Vinny we like. He says, happy Monday. God bless as always. Hub, appreciate The encouragement video that you had on your Facebook was good reminder that God's got us covered, my brother. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, Vinny. I directed you to that because I knew you would appreciate it. Ministry is my number one passion. Then comes, family and then pro wrestling. But yeah, I put my heart into that video, man. I'm glad to hear that you appreciated that. Thank you, and God bless you.
Vinny, sorry about the Steelers.
You know what? The Steelers are just not as good. I love Tomlin. The Steelers were just not as good as the Ravens this year, and that's okay. When you lose to a better team, I don't really take a lot of sorrow in that. Like, the Giants, for instance, right? The Giants, I knew were going to be a bad football team from the gate, and they were a bad football team. So there really wasn't a lot of disappointment. Vinny, I think you guys fought hard. You have a Hall of Fame coach. Just didn't have enough firepower to deal with them Ravens, man.
That's a fact. It's all good though, as long as they're not firing people. I'm looking at you, New England. Yeah, that makes zero sense. That wow, you gave someone a rookie quarterback, and what did he get for that? Nothing.
And I'm totally piggybacking off your point, giving you all the credit right now, Conrad. In what NFL world do we know that somebody gets 1 year on the job?
Sounds like someone was checking boxes. That's all I'm going to say.
It sounds like someone was definitely checking boxes, and once that box was checked, they felt like the responsibility was taken care of, and they moved on in 1 year's time. That is a disgrace.
Got the replacement already. Notice that?
Well, I have no problem with Vrabel being the coach. I thought that was the fit from Jump Street. But what they did to Mayo was a crime. Don't get me started, bro.
I'm not trying to get you started. We got Sir Quills in the house. He said, "What up, Conrad, Sean, chat? Your boy Sir Quills is back to enjoy my two favorite bros, CJ and Hubs, for episode 124 of the best wrestling podcast out today, Clash of the By God podcast, #EPW, #HWW. Last week's Raw on Netflix was actually good, but I'm not keeping my hopes up for that good momentum to continue. After all, this is WWE, therefore the incompetence and letdowns won't be far away." I think, can I say this? For people who get accused of being haters, me and Sean, I thought we handled last week's episode pretty well. I was like, it was cool. It was all right for what it was. I wasn't tripping. I saw a lot more people mad than, like, way more upset than me, but
Conrad is never that much of a hater. I have hateristic tendencies. I just made that word up when it comes to WWE.
It's existed for years, my friend, for years.
I wasn't hating last week, but I will say this to Quilly's point. If you expect to see The Undertaker this week or The Rock, I wouldn't hold my breath, or John Cena, I wouldn't hold my breath. The deck was stacked last week. And by the way, it's somewhat arguable, but hey, I'm going to say it anyway. The deck was stacked last week. To Quilly's point, the deck was stacked last week, and it still wasn't like a home run. I mean, it was a good show. And we're going to get into the brass tacks of it all. But, tonight we're kind of getting back to status quo, guys. What tonight to me means is kind of like, all right, pump your brakes, everybody. Don't get all blinded by the Netflix glitz and glamour and the Intuit Dome and the flashing lights and The Rock coming out, giving Cody Rhodes hugs and kisses. Don't get flabbergasted. Let's get back to reality. Tonight we're getting back to normalcy. Relax. That's what I say. So, Quilly, I agree with you 100%.
Right? Vinny saying my Steelers with Tomlin reminds me of WWE hanging on to Gomez creative. I still think Tomlin's getting you there even when his team probably shouldn't. I still think Tomlin's a really good coach, and you don't let someone like that go.
The problem, Vinny, with the Pittsburgh Steelers is a good problem to have, but it's still a very debilitating problem. And that problem is when you're 9-8 or 10-7 every year, or previously before the schedule got longer, when you're 9-7 or 10-6 every year, you're always going to be in the wild card. You're not going to have a good draft pick.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Speaking of our separate shows, Hubbonomics this week was about what Clown just brought up. Hulk Hogan getting booed out of the building. I really enjoyed this week's episode of Hubbonomics. If you haven't checked it out, that's Sean Hubbard, 20 minutes or less, going in about a wrestling topic. I love it. One of my favorite things that he does. Make sure you go check it out. And this is coming from someone who was once a Hulkamaniac. So
I was once a Hulkamaniac. Yes, I was, but I have to tell it like it is.
Big shout out to Matt Lopez. I saw he retweeted us, man, as soon as I put up the link for this while we were waiting here. And he says, hello, good evening. Hope you all had a good weekend. Let's kick this weekend off with the two aces in our wrestling community. Hashtag Let's Go Bills. Thank you.
M. Leezy Fo Sheezy.
You could have that one.
What you gonna do, brother, when everyone is booing you? What you know. Just watch my video, and I'm not pandering. Conrad, tell him I'm not pandering.
Sean's not pandering because he told me to say that.
Yeah, just. Wow, listen to you. Just watch the video. I think I was very fair. Hogan had no business being on Raw last week.
Jimmy Hart was like, man, how long do I have to wave this flag for before they start cheering? Poor Jimmy Hart. This Sunday we have TNA Genesis and GCW The People versus at Hammerstein. Hopefully they deliver. I saw they added Sabu to the card, and we'll see what they do, man. I wish them the best, wish TNA the best. We're gonna actually do a preview for Genesis, which will be on Triller TV. That's how I'm watching because I'm not paying all that money for that TNA app. And yeah, we will do that. Clown, excited for that GCW show. McKinney, what's good? He says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestle with the Fire live chat and the best bros in the biz clash of the podcast. And I'll let y'all know whatever the new year brings to you depends on what you bring to the new year.
Ooh, McKinney, that was fire. I like that.
Yep. And he said, let's go. Guy Will Gamble, Europe. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope y'all are ready and doing well ready for more cinema. Hate
Guy
that
Will
word.
Gamble, we appreciate you being here. And I just got to add into the mix my guy, Derek.
Oh, my goodness. Derek, what's up, bro? What's good? Doug says another Monday, another clash. Let's do this. Conrad, Sean, chat, teach me. I always got to let Sean dances every time we say that for those who just listen on audio. I know there's probably some who just, but Sean dances every time we say that.
Good call, Conrad. I keep forgetting they don't see me doing the W.
No, I always got to show love to the audio listeners because whoever sat through 3 hours of audio last week, and there were a few, bless your heart. If you listen to us for that whole duration, bless your heart because that was a long time. Either Allen or Lamar's going to be looking like Savage after WrestleMania 3. Oh, don't say that. Ooh, harsh. Let's go. I'm sorry, guys. I got to skip around. Rams or Vikings? What's your pick, fellas? What's up, James from Pro Wrestling Shoot? They go live every Tuesday. Show them some love. I'm going to put their link in the chat as well.
I'm going to say this, James. I'm going to say this to you too, Conrad, in chat. I picked Detroit to win the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills, but don't sleep on the Vikings. The Vikings are a wild card team because the Detroit Lions played out of their minds. This is a 14-3 football team, and they're playing tonight on a neutral field. The Vikings will be victorious.
I say don't sleep on the Rams too. They got a great wide receiver core. This game could go either way, just depending on the night, in my opinion.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it a step further, brother Conrad. I'm gonna say that the Vikings win by 2 scores.
Okay, all right. I know I'm gonna get that text during Raw if they go up. What I tell you?
Yeah, you know I will.
I had to message Sean about some college basketball this week. That UNC game, I was like, "Woo!"
Yeah, that was fire. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that coming. I was watching something else, but yeah.
Oh, Gabe, happy birthday, Lisa! Lisa, it's your birthday, Gabe Bradley. Everybody, go in the chat. Tell Gabe Bradley happy birthday right now. Make sure you show him some love. Shower him with some birthday love, man.
GB, happy birthday, man.
B-Boy Skyline says Conan must be enjoying that WWE money again. No comment. I could be rude. I'm gonna take the high road tonight. That's where I'm at tonight. I'm only 2 hours away from LA, so currently safe. Be good, man. Be good either way, man. Prayers to everyone affected by those fires. Thank you, Guy Will Gamble. Jocelyn watching on Twitch. Evening, all.
Shout out to LA.
Safety for over everyone watching. Mr. Bryant said, "Yo, Mr. Bryant, hello, thank you."
Mr. Bryant, salute. Jocelyn, appreciate you.
Easy E, what's good, man? Appreciate you, family. Joel in the house says, "Hey guys, what's up, man?"
What up, Joel?
Oh my goodness, yes. Tom Pestock, if you don't know, that's Baron Corbin, and Josh Barnett in Bloodsport Sunday at GCW. You can catch that also on Triller TV. And James said he'll be at SmackDown this Friday. Last week's episode was fun. I don't see the problem. Jesse says, listen, Jesse, I'm just telling you what I saw, brother. Just telling you what I saw. I'm coming in. I'm on my best behavior. That's all I can say at this point. That's all I can say. Why does everything keep disappearing on me here? And I'm putting Hub's link in the chat for everybody. Derek, I see you, bro. I see you. And if you guys haven't, man, make sure you vote on the EPW Awards. I think the show's happening this Thursday. So if you guys want to see what the results were, just make sure you tune in. I think Rob's nailed down for Thursday. If not, I'll probably end up doing it on Thursday anyway. But
I voted.
Thank you. Thank you. Get your votes in. Get your popcorn, as Terrell Owens used to say. Delayed Grats, what's good? What is this Tomlin blasphemy that you are discussing? Some people were just saying maybe they thought that they were going to move on from him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how Vinny feels. That's up to Vinny can discuss that.
I'm going on the record. The only way that Tomlin should lose his job is if he quits.
Yeah, at this point, right, for all he's done. And like I said, even with underdeveloping teams, he's always kind of made the playoffs. So
always. I mean, at a historic, it's like 20 years. I'm being facetious, but like teams, at least that many years in a row.
Right? We got someone new in the house. Rewind 89. What's good, Rewind? He says, dude, I was at SmackDown Friday night and they did a program on the screen for Saturday night's main event. Hogan's face was on there and everyone in the arena started booing. People are over Hogan. Rewind. I'll fast forward to give you a high five, brother, because you are 1,000% correct. We've been over him for years and they just don't get it.
Rewind, I only have one thing to say. Thank you for your commentary, and I agree with you completely. Rewind, I only have one thing to say.
All right, Prototype. All right. Next thing you know, he's going to say he's entering the Rumble over here.
Absolutely. That's true. I mean, look, the Hogan thing is played, bro. Like, for all he's done outside of the ring, and even if the outside the ring stuff never happened, which has happened, and I'm not going to forget, the politics backstage is with him as a wrestler is enough to turn you off. Like, dude, just go somewhere go chill at your beach store down in Tampa and relax. Don't show up on my television.
Steven Chambers saying, let's go Lions. Let's go Steven Chambers. Let's go. Detroit versus everybody. Who want the smoke? I hear you. I envy you NFL fans that still have teams to root for. The Raiders have conditioned me to stop caring about the postseason. I was like that at one time as a Bills fan. Hope will be back. Trust me. It always comes back. Just how long? Especially when Tom Brady's in your division. I see everybody give it. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Birthday love for Gabe, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's a high ranking or high scoring game tonight. Soraya was near the fires. Oh man, prayers up to Soraya. I don't know if she lives out there.
The thing about the fires is really scary is that it's in a highly populated area.
Byron saying creative story is a lock for 2K25. I hope that's from a reliable source, good sir. I hope so too, though. I'm hoping for something good in the next couple weeks for it. And if you guys didn't know, I have a new YouTube channel for it. I made that might be one of my first videos when I go over there to discuss, but EPW Games looks just like this logo for everything pro wrestling. Check it out. I don't know. Maybe we'll collab over there, Sean. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm down on video games a little bit lately for wrestling, especially. But
March is coming.
Let's get into the show, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for the football talk. It's always fun to get into some of that stuff. Connor. Hello, guys. I'll be lurking in the chat while I'm playing Fight Night Champion for the first time ever. Have fun and look out for Frost. That's all I'll tell you.
That's right. Nice.
Big boxing fan. Get that new boxing game, too, that came out. Undisputed. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I still have fun in the career mode, even though I'm getting old in it. Last week, though, we had Monday Night Raw. We did a watch along for it. Like I said, I thought me and Sean were on our best behavior. Well, Sean and Derek did have a couple points, but Derek was hating hard. But I overall, I thought the show was okay. Like, it was cool. It was a success. I loved the presentation. The camera angles were good. They put on some big matches for you. I wish we would have gotten more matches, but I can't really complain about the matches. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It was the greatest episode of Monday Night Raw in history from a production standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
There's no argument there.
Drones.
It was fantastic. The viewing experience was fantastic.
The arena was great.
Absolutely. The whole production, the whole presentation was absolutely fantastic. But from a storyline perspective,
I knew that butt was coming.
It didn't hit for me, bro. Like, I mean, what is The Rock doing? Are we going to get into this now, or what are we doing?
I mean, well, let's talk first. When we saw the opening video package explaining stuff about wrestling, some people had issues with the heel or face stuff, and then the curtain dropped, and guess who it was? I don't know if y'all saw us on the No Name Wrestling podcast, but me and Sean were getting some heat for what we said about Triple H. I didn't see anyone say, you know, you guys might be right, or guys, I apologize, but Triple H was the first one on the screen, which I've become accustomed to it, but I still don't understand why this is necessary. But Triple H was out there first. Then we get, if you smell, oh, it's The Rock. And Rock came out, and I thought it was very odd. I'm still not sold that there's nothing happening yet. I'm hoping that it's about to go down, and there's a swerve in all of this. But Rock came out, Sean, and he cut like this. I don't know. It felt corporate type of promo, like, thank you, Steve and Joanna, who are here. And I'm like, who are? I assume Netflix executives were some of these names, but Rock was out there showing love, and he was doing what I thought someone who's on the board should do. But I thought we were getting the final boss, Rock, and I guess that's hard when you're on both sides of it.
It was hot garbage. I'm not gonna pull BS.
Punches?
Yeah, punches. Thank you. It was complete crap. It was not the storyline. It had nothing to do with the storyline. That promo, chat, let me know what you think. That promo was so insulting to anyone who's watched this product over the past 12 months, because we were expected to forget everything that's happened regarding The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and the Bloodline. Did The Rock not beat up Cody Rhodes in a parking lot outside the arena and make him bleed? Did The Rock not pin Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 Night 1? Did The Rock not insult Cody Rhodes' family? Did Cody Rhodes not slap The Rock across the face? They could, honestly, they were so chummy, they should have just made out right on screen. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was so insulting, so corny. I can't even tell you. And more importantly than corny, it was confusing. It was like, what are they doing? Are we supposed to forget that these two guys are supposed to hate each other from a storyline perspective? Does tonight not count? Because that's what you're essentially telling us. Tonight doesn't count, guys. Everything you saw the last time we were here, together in the same ring, outside in the parking lot, Bloodline, WrestleMania, the whole 9 yards, just forget it. We're really cool. No worries. It was disgusting. I'm still pissed off about that.
Delay Grat says tonight's the real Raw debut. Last week was like a welcome to the WWE showcase. That's an interesting thought. I saw a lot of people putting it as that who liked the show or thought it was good. That's fine, but you also ended multiple feuds, though. I don't know. Is this salvageable, Sean? Like, I'm still holding on to a little bit of hope that maybe they could turn this around. I don't fully believe it either, but I'm like, maybe there's something that they could do here. But I guess, do we talk about NXT a little bit too? Rock gave them a nice bump in the ratings the next night. And how did you feel about Rock going on that show? He dropped more F-bombs on CW, and I'm like, that's the show where you can't say that stuff. What are you doing?
Rock, there's no repercussions for The Rock. I thought that was pointless too. I mean, what he tried to do was kind of like get back at the backlash that he got from social media, telling everybody, enjoy the ride the Rock is taking you on. Well, Rock, like, what ride are we on? I don't even know what ride. I don't know what amusement park I'm in right now. Like, where am I? Because all I know is I saw you drinking tequila with Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. What is happening right now? Like, I don't understand. Like, it makes no sense. And yes, you show up on NXT. I felt that was kind of like, let me just kind of play damage control. I mean, I don't know, man. It was very confusing. I'm still confused.
Yeah. Vinny's bringing up. I told you Triple H was trying to feed his ego. Big shout out to Ted joining us. Ted, what's good? I'm not watching WWE Raw tonight. I don't have Netflix. I'm going to watch AEW Worlds, and I recorded it on VHS tapes at SLP on pay-per-view. Ted, you enjoy, brother.
Old school flavor. I like it.
Sponsored by Memorex. Vinny says, also, Triple H having his voice in the opening signature is so overbearing.
Having his voice in the opening signature and being the one who opens the show. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, I mean, you're so thirsty for the limelight. You can't take it. You have to be in the mix some kind of way. Matter of fact, I bet dollars. Put me back on screen, Conrad, please. I bet dollars to donuts. Remember this episode, guys. Chat, hold me to task. Conrad, hold me to task. I am predicting right now the first entrance of WrestleMania 41 will be Triple H.
Okay.
Welcome to WrestleMania. Like, get off of my TV, you washed up hack. You make me sick.
He wouldn't say that. Are you ready? Just kidding. I'm joking. I give Hunter a hard time. I know. I bust his chops.
Well, we give him a hard time because he deserves a hard time. Stop opening up the show. You don't. Let's move on.
Who else would think of genius like this with these sponsorships on the mat? I do like them on here, but I feel like it makes SmackDown look less than while we're bringing up points about it a little. Like, why can't these same things be put on SmackDown? Are they just trying to brand them separately?
They're definitely trying to brand them separately.
It ain't working, Chief. Like, you got like 4 or 5, 6. You get what I'm saying, right? The appearance, I do. SmackDown's probably like, well, where's our stuff? We don't have them. So,
I want to make a comment about what M. Leezy just said, and it actually ties into what you've been saying for the past 7 days.
Tell me which one you want up. I think
toward the end, the last comment you see from M. Leezy. All right, here's where I'm at with it, guys. Because some of you guys might say, hey, Sean, hey, Hubs, if Rock comes out and screws Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, or if Rock comes out on an episode of Raw and screw Roman, or if Rock anywhere between now and WrestleMania screws Roman Reigns, then that's what the Netflix situation was all about. See, Sean, it all worked out. M. Leezy, my good friend, and everybody else in here, Conrad, my brother from another mother. Can I give you a newsflash? That's not the point. Sean, what are you talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. And chat, let me know if you agree or disagree. Let's say Rock screws Roman sometime between now and WrestleMania. Do we get in our magic time machine and go back to Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix on January 6, 2025 and have a segment that we'd actually enjoy? Okay, well, Rock screwed over Roman at the Royal Rumble. Rock screwed over Roman at Elimination Chamber. Rock screwed over Roman 2 weeks before Monday night, 2 weeks before WrestleMania on Raw. Does that mean that what we saw on January 6th was not a corny bunch of crap? Does that change the fact that that was a bunch of corny garbage that we saw on January 6th? No, it's a yes or no, my brother. If Roman gets screwed by The Rock sometime between now, because M. Leezy's point is the same point you've been making, and you may be right. But if that happens, does that change that what happened on Raw on the debut on Netflix does that change the fact that it was corny and unsatisfying?
I go along the lines of more of a waste of time. That's what I would call that was a waste of time. Like, you could have better spent your time if you would have prepared, because we saw last year they did a pivot, right? That was the phrase we kept using, and everyone.
I can't let you get away with that, Conrad.
No. You listen. I didn't finish my point.
Okay, you're right.
They're gonna pivot, and if they did that last year, didn't all that stuff mean nothing? Then the whole Cody's giving up. I seek counsel. Like none of that meant anything either.
It was dope though. It was dope. It wasn't sad. It wasn't what we wanted to see, but it was still a dope moment. When The Rock came out, it was a dope moment. Go ahead.
Flip to being a Cody fan though. Think of Dave LaGreca, Busted Open, those guys. He was so hurt that they took that spot away from Cody that everybody demanded the pivot. And if you get the pivot, I guess it's like a what's the word I'm looking for, where stuff's like half better. Like you added some sugar to your Kool-Aid and it didn't have it in there before. That's what they did. Okay, here, is it better? Yeah, okay, I can accept this.
But there's a big difference, Brother Conrad, and I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. And I'm surprised you, being the highly intelligent man that you are not picking up on this. This was the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Let me ask you this. Here's a better question for you. Other than somebody like me who's a Jey Uso fan who went nuts when Jey Uso beat Drew McIntyre. And what I mean by that is unless you have a vested interest in something that took place on that show. Can you name me the signature moment of that show? The moment that will stand the test of time for the debut edition of Raw on Netflix. Tell me what the moment was.
If Cena wins that Rumble. I don't think there was one. I don't think there was a final stamp.
Exactly. There wasn't one. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Nobody, and I'm going to leave it alone. We can move forward. Chat, let me know yes or no if I'm right or wrong. Conrad, let me know yes or no if I'm right or wrong. Nobody was looking for The Rock to show up on Monday Night Raw to do a promotional spot. They were looking for him to interact with Cody Rhodes in a negative way that would promote the storyline that they left off with 6 months ago.
That's what we all thought. We came in as, yeah. That was the perception.
And ergo, because that didn't happen, it was a disappointment, Conrad.
And I'm fine with that. I'm not saying anyone's wrong for being.
Me and you are on the same page for the most part. I just have an issue when I say on my social media platforms, Monday Night Raw on Netflix did not live up to standard. People are like, what are you talking about? It was amazing. What was amazing about it? What? What was the amazing moment? What's the moment that'll stand the test of time? What's the moment about the first Raw on Netflix that will live in our memory forever? Was it Liv Morgan losing the title to Rhea Ripley? Was it the fact that Undertaker came out and celebrated with Rhea Ripley? Was it the fact that John Cena said he's entering the Royal Rumble? Was it the fact, as much as I love Jey Uso, was it the fact that Jey Uso beat Drew McIntyre?
Hold on now. You were running around when that happened.
I'm a Jey Uso fan. I
don't care. I'm bringing it up so people can go back and watch it. Go watch what Jey Uso
I did lose my mind. I did lose my mind, but that's because I'm a Jey Uso guy. Like, that was my guy. So, yeah. But there was no signature moment to that show. That was Conrad, I'm going to say this and we can move on. That was supposed to be the biggest Monday Night Raw in the history of WWE. Was it? Was it even close?
Time will tell.
There you go.
I don't know what they were selling for. You know, maybe it was for the executives. Maybe they had to impress them. It felt weird seeing them ringside too and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know.
There you go.
I
appreciate you letting me say what I had to say, brother.
No, you're good. You're good. John Cena's farewell tour begins. I know a lot of John Cena fans. I'm trying to put myself in perspective with this because I do have my issues with Cena for reasons that I've discussed, and I think I validly pointed out. But John Cena's here. I know that this is a younger generation's Hulk Hogan. Like, that's how they view this guy.
Yes.
So enjoy the run that he's going on. Have fun. I don't see him winning the Rumble. I know some people do. I do think he will eventually get that championship reign, but we're going to have to wait until when. Roman and Solo. I want to talk Bloodline for 2 seconds, and we get into Punk and Rollins.
Let's do it.
Roman Reigns. No, do you want to talk about Jey Uso getting the win over Drew?
Well, nothing really to talk about except my guy got a win that I didn't expect.
I do think this is leading to something where Drew and others are going to team up against them.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk to a person who's not really sane when it comes to my brother Jey Uso, somebody that doesn't have a level head, I would think that maybe that means that he might win the Royal Rumble. But logically speaking, that's not what's going to happen.
He could be in the mix towards the end, maybe final 6, but I don't see them doing it.
Right.
Also, let's look at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wins back the Uafala. He beats Solo Sikoa. I thought we were going to see something on SmackDown.
Maybe that was a signature moment, him beating Solo.
Getting back his thing. Yeah, that could be argued. Good point. Good point. See, being fair. Fair. I like that. Fair. Okay, so he got it back. Rock puts the Uafala on him, which was okay. Like, we're like, are you fighting him then? And nothing happened from it. They kind of just left it there. But Roman's back. But what does that mean for the bloodline? Is this story finally over? Chat, same question for you.
Story's not over. I think Friday night on SmackDown, there's going to be some backlash from the new bloodline about Solo losing.
Should be a reckoning, right? Like I said, I think a beatdown should be coming Solo's way soon here. And we'll have a new group forged to take down anything in their way. How we get there will depend.
My question for you, my astute, smart brother, is Solo getting jumped out of the bloodline because he lost to Roman too obvious?
No, I think it's just the right call at this point in time. I think you could build up some sympathy and see how people react to him.
Okay.
Because to me, the end game is really to put back the OG bloodline. How long that takes, maybe that's next Survivor Series or something. Maybe Solo goes rogue until then. And he's trying to find himself to figure out, well, what's my character? Who am I now?
Right. I feel you.
Yo, chill, McKinney. I can't even put that up. Yes, Travis Scott and can I say the B word on here? I think it's fine.
I mean, Travis, you could just use you could say let's be safe, because I actually give me a second to figure this out, because I don't. Give me a second, just bear with me. Travis Scott smoking.
Let's just refer that to something else.
Some sticky.
Yeah,
Travis Scott smoking some sticky was wild.
Yeah, and trying to why do people like trying to get Jey Uso in trouble is what I want to know.
I'm not gonna cap, bro. I was kind of like concerned about it, honestly. I'm talking about real life concerned about Jay's career. Like, is he gonna get in trouble for this?
No, I think he's fine. Hassan, what's good, man? Okay. I see you. XG Dub, I saw you. Hassan, who else popped in? T Ferg. I see you guys, man. Let me shout all of you guys out. Yeah, just Cody and the libations. Like, remember what I told you when they won the tag titles? Like, Cody can get away with this. Jey Uso cannot.
Exactly. And we all know, unfortunately, that Jey Uso's one minuscule mistake from this magic carpet ride being over.
Yep. And he's only made, he doesn't need any more problems. So avoid that. And thank goodness Jay was like, nah, I'm good. And he just kept it moving.
Bro, because it's so easy to get caught up in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if he was like, they're gonna cheer. Because Pat McAfee even said, like, bring it here. And I was
Well, Pat McAfee can get away with it, but see that's going into a different kind of conversation. Oh boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Corey Graves, who joined the NXT brand, since we brought that up, just in case those who were wondering.
What is going on?
That was crazy, right? When I saw that, I was like, Corey Graves back to NXT.
Corey Graves, that's I don't care what nobody says, that's a demotion.
Unless they're trying to get Vic Joseph or Booker T ready to come up, but you already have Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore, Michael Cole. I don't know. That seems weird. Maybe no one wanted a 3-man booth.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see where they lead to things with that. Punk and Seth, I thought that was a good match for the main event. I had fun watching it. I just where do we go from here?
You ready to be shocked again? You ready to be shocked again by me being fair?
Go ahead.
Wasn't the greatest match that we could have ever saw, but I understand why. Because there's more coming.
Doesn't need to be either on Raw. You know what I mean? Raw. There's more. There's a bigger payoff down the line for this. So
I agree with that. So I'm being fair. Was it the greatest Seth and CM Punk match we could have ever saw? No, but I think it's coming.
Fair point. Yeah, Vinny said they held back. Matt, you got me laughing. Maybe Corey didn't want to travel anymore, spend time with his kids. That's fair point too, Clown.
Absolutely.
Fair point. Absolutely. And if that's what Corey wants to do, then good for him. If he's happy, great. Maybe it's to work on the video game while he's down there to fix up lines and do some DLC. I don't know, but So we get in this after Mania, the Punk and Seth, I assume we're on.
Yeah, he's
I don't
talking
know.
about Punk and Seth.
I don't know when we get it. It could be the Mania match still if they wanted to.
I think Seth and or CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble is too obvious. And I think they're going to screw each other and they're going to meet at WrestleMania.
Who wins the Rumble then right now, in your opinion? Who's the favorite?
I think Roman Reigns is going to win.
So Roman and Cody's the match three years in a row?
Doesn't have to be Cody. I just said Roman. Probably Cody. I'm not stupid. It's probably going to be Cody. But I mean, because Cody, Roman
just
3.
One.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Cody, Roman 3. Look, now I'll be honest with you. Cody, Roman 3 would not bother me, but Roman Reigns better win.
I feel like he would at that point. Like but he's like the only legitimate threat to it. Like I know people geeked over the AJ Styles matches, and I'm kind of like,
right. And I want to acknowledge what Vinny just said, because if you note when I said what I just said about it'll probably be Cody, I don't want it to be Cody. KO should win at the Royal Rumble, but he won't. You know why? Because KO winning at the Royal Rumble, that's a good idea. And you know what that means.
I still think that they're going to ride on Cody. I mean, yeah, Kevin, I don't know what they do with Kevin Owens after this.
Who did you say was going to win the Royal Rumble?
I didn't say anybody.
We must have talked about this before, because I know I said Roman.
I'm 50-50 on a lot of people. I'm still waiting to see how stuff plays out and shakes out.
Okay, well, I feel like Punk, give us what you're teeter-tottering on.
I think you have to find a way for Punk to cash in that favor, but how does he get involved? Is it a triple threat match? Is it something with Roman? I feel like you have options.
Is it a wild favor? Like when I say wild, is it like, yo, Roman won the Royal Rumble, sign over his title shot to me?
Could be.
Woo!
It could be. I want the first title shot if Roman Reigns gets the belt. Woo! Roman's tired after that match with Cody, and then he comes out. He's like, cashing in my favor, and he's like, Paul, you screwed me. I had to do this to save you before, and it leads to
Conrad. I like it. That'll be wild. Yep.
I'm just trying to create some intrigue here. And then you leave Punk without his WrestleMania main event, but he secretly kind of gets it. Then, like, no, I'm ending the show. I'm putting this on.
Fireworks blasting in the sky. I don't care if it's a 2-minute match. He still gets his moment.
Right. And that could be a key thing for a lot of this.
Right.
A lot of this. Yeah, we'll have to see where things go, man. We discussed like The Rock and Roman. There was that moment that is also the thumbnail for this, or at least half of it. Looking at it.
Great job by Conrad Cushman putting that together.
Hey, appreciate it. This is going to lead to many of things, I think, concerning the future.
See, that's what we don't disagree very much, Conrad, but it might lead to nothing, which would be the ultimate disappointment.
I think Roman is set in plans. Here's the thing. I don't know what Rock wants to do. I feel like, I don't know if Rock's playing this game of like, well, what do you have for me? Is it something I want to do? Is this Rock's way of like, okay, I'm going back babyface because that's what I need to be for.
Or, and this is cringe. You ready for this? What if Rock's moment is not even this year?
Oh. Don't.
What if it's only Rock screwing Roman at WrestleMania and we finally get Rock versus Roman next year? See, I don't trust WWE. See, y'all think I'm just a WWE hater. I'm not. WWE screws up a lot of crap, and they may screw this one up too. And you know what? I'm going to help you guys out by not getting your hopes up too much. Rock may not even be at WrestleMania.
He might not. I feel like he needs to be, but at this point too, when's he going to do this match? Like time is the hourglass is flipped, bro.
I don't care how much good of a shape he's in. He's 50 years old.
The hourglass is flipped. The sand is going around and around and around.
I'm gonna say I don't care how good a shape he's in. God bless him, but he's still 50 plus.
Yeah,
Goldberg's in good shape too.
Let me hold on here. We got some.
You heard.
No, I heard you. Let's just get that over with. That's how I feel with that. Like, yep, Bill, we'll see ya. I can see Cole now.
Gunther destroy him.
Go Falcons. Yeah, all right, Michael Cole, sit down. Roman wins. Final four will be Seth, Drew, and Punk. Seth will eliminate Punk, and Roman will eliminate Drew, and then Seth. Ooh. KO faces Sammy for the 1000th time at WrestleMania. I think you got to add the Usos or something to that to give it flavor. I don't think you can do that again. Just those two.
How?
Like Usos, Sammy, and someone versus like KO, Drew.
No. See, oh my God, Conrad, we're really not on the same page this week.
I'm telling you.
Episode.
Listen,
bro. Listen to me from the bottom of my heart. You cannot waste, and that is the right word. You cannot waste Sammy and the Usos versus KO, Seth, and Drew. They all need to be in separate matches, bro. No?
That's a lot of matches then.
It's 2 nights. I've been saying 2 nights is too much forever. Finally, my brother, we have enough talent to make 2 nights mean something.
You do. But here's what I'm saying with it, though.
Yeah.
There's a linkage between I hate the bloodline. There's too many stories of I hate the bloodline, and this is your fault. Right. Drew has one. KO has one. Seth has one.
About to have one, exactly.
There's a lot of that. So Seth may say, I'll team with you because I hate them, and I want to end them.
You know, WrestleMania though,
I'm just throwing a scenario out.
I'm appealing to your business side. We finally have enough talent for 2 nights to make sense. I've been screaming from the rooftops. 2 nights is ridiculous. Finally, there's enough talent for 2 nights to make sense, and you're gonna put them in a 6-man tag.
Listen to me.
Okay.
It could be even more than that. It could be that they're going to face the other side. So you could have Sammy and them go against them. You could flip it and have them go against the new Jacob Fatu version of the Bloodline. Like, I don't know what they're going to call it. I don't think it's the Bloodline, but there'll be something else.
Okay.
The Samoan Werewolves, whatever you want to call them. Okay. They could be out there doing the exact same thing. And shout out to NBA 2 Kenny. He says that Punk's going to cash in his favor. Go back to what I said with Punk. What would make Seth so mad? Seth, you were in a mid-card match at WrestleMania, and I cashed in a favor, main evented, and got my moment that you said I never got. I've got everything. Ha-ha.
Can I just add a little bit of sauce to that? What if Seth and CM Punk fought each other in a preliminary match at WrestleMania? Seth wins, and then CM Punk cashes in the favor at the same WrestleMania, a la Seth versus Randy Orton, and then Seth cashing in against Brock and Roman at WrestleMania 31.
I was thinking Brett and Owen, going way back in the history books of Owen standing in the rampway. I beat that guy, and you're up here cheering for him right now? Goosebumps. Hold on. Got to hit the rock.
Conrad, that's even better.
So let's say Punk wins. Remember that group I just said?
Yes.
I'm making this make sense.
Yes, you are.
Kevin Owens has beef with Punk. Look at my moveset. That was a reference to Punk. You have Seth Rollins who has beef with him. I told you Drew hates him too. It comes full. Now we're gonna beat you down, and we're gonna take that title from you.
The only thing we're disagreeing on, I love where you're going, but I seem like the only thing we're disagreeing on is 6-man tag.
It could be an 8. It could be something. No, I'm just saying it's there.
Even worse.
I know. I'm just saying, Sean. Listen, they're gonna have to get one of these women mid-card titles on the show. Where's the tag belts?
Do we see? This is you being logical. This is you being logical in a world where WWE is not as logical as you are. Are we sure that they're going to get the Intercontinental and U.S. Women's title on there?
Every title can't be on the show. I'm telling everyone that now. Or every match on WrestleMania will be a title match, and you don't have any room to miss a beat or anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And there's going to be lots of multi-person matches, and I don't think you want a WrestleMania covered in that.
Nah, you make a good point.
Delayed Grad says, bruh, he's too old for that. Rocket Roman has to happen at SummerSlam. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. So, Sean, you thinking that they could be doing Rock versus Cena 1 with Rock and Roman?
I think so. And in this case, I mean, it worked 10 years ago, but I don't know if it'll work today, Emily.
Delayed Grad says the older Rock gets, the shorter and worse will be his next match. Father Time is the undisputed champion.
Undisputed and undefeated. I agree with you, Delayed Grad.
I agree. 2 nights is annoying. Now, Vinny, I'm cool with 2 nights. That's not my issue. I just think that you're gonna have to.
Vinny knows 2 nights is my issue.
Right. I just. I think sometimes you're gonna have to. You got to bite the bullet for story or whatever you're trying to do.
But again, to be fair, not only to WWE but to Conrad Cushman, this year there's enough people to make 2 nights mean something.
Yeah. Finally, someone said IWC folk love multiple bloodline angles, and yet the IWC folks hate too many people that are involved with the Death Riders, and yet both stories are repetitive, and only one has dragged 3+ years. That is very true.
Touche.
That is true. But Punk wants to be promoted as main event. You know his ego can't handle a cash in.
Woo! Vinny with the heat.
WrestleMania is going to be aired this year. I feel it.
No, Vinny. Vinny, you're my dog. Appreciate you so much. But WrestleMania is looking solid. There's always a way to make it better. You know what would make WrestleMania the greatest WrestleMania of all time? Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. But you know what? Unfortunately, that's not reality. So what's reality? Realistic things that can happen. CM Punk versus Seth. CM Punk versus Roman. Roman versus Rock. Roman versus Cody. There's a lot of things on the table.
Someone hit the X-Men music for me, man. What did I tell y'all, man? Gambit. They got aces up the sleeve this year. Oh, you're sick of this? John Cena's here. Oh, you're sick of that? Here's Rock. They've got stuff that they can throw out at you. So they're trying to keep the train rolling.
But there's only one thing that I would be very upset about. I do not want to see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
Why so?
2 baby faces going at each other for the world title?
Honestly, if that happens, I think Cody wins, too.
Cody would win. But what I'm trying to say is, I mean, how much sugar do you need in your coffee?
Whoa! My father said... No, I still think I don't know if it's a match that I don't know how the fans would react to it, because do you turn one of them heel, or is this going to be like they'll cheer for both of them all the way through?
Well, if you go to hwweekly.com, you will see that I predicted the fans will turn on Cody. That's probably more wishful thinking. I appreciate you, Conrad. You did throw a nice fastball right down the middle. But on a serious note, I want Cody to get turned on, but the fans, I feel like I might have been wrong. I'm turning on Cody because Cody's annoying me, but it seems like the fans are pretty solidly behind him, unfortunately.
Touche. Fair points. I think that could be a good match still. I just don't know how be careful is all I'm going to say if you book that match, because you may book one of these guys to become hated. And I don't think it's Cena, because Cena's on the final run. He's going to be beloved.
I've told you before, Cody being a heel wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You've told me why it's not a good idea, but I think it's a great idea.
Right. Delay Grass says Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania could happen. That could happen.
I think I have a really cool perspective on this. I don't think I've shared this with you, Conrad. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go Naomi versus Jade Cargill with Bianca Belair as the guest referee for one half of the women's tag team titles. Talk to me.
So wait. Push that one more time. It's Jade,
a returning Jade, versus Naomi with Bianca Belair as the guest referee, and the match would be for one half of the women's tag team championship. Talk to me, somebody. If you don't think it's a good idea, let me know. I thought it was fire, bro.
I mean, that's the best we got for Bianca.
No, of course not.
But once again, if the story's prevalent and you're going to do something shocking at the end, then that might catch people's interest.
But you know what? You just said something that made it kind of suck. You're right. Bianca deserves better.
I'm just saying, but it could be something that you do on the lead up, though. I
thought that would cook. Man, you just.
Sorry. 6 said, can we please get a Cena heel turn before he retires? I don't think they're going to do it, Sick. They're got to sell them shirts, man. They want them shirts out there. Each city's getting one. Cody versus Cena. I bet Cody gets more boos.
Totally.
Vinny says Cody should be heel against Cena. That would be interesting.
Yep.
after Cena beats Cody, that could be the catalyst for a heel turn. Delayed Grat says, I hate the way fans turned on Cody in AEW. It'll be sad to see them do that again in WWE, excuse me. Part of it's Cody's fault too, why they turned on him. Some of the things he did storyline wise, like the feud with I'm the all-American babyface, cheer for me as I go up against a black guy from England. Like, what are you doing, bro?
What are we doing exactly?
Yeah, and then he was just saying some weird stuff in those promos that I think turned people off. Flipping it back on the other side, he also booked himself to never be the world champion again.
Yes, he did.
You capture money. Like, okay, well, I don't know what could happen with you. Like, someone will be like, I do. Like, you can't win the world title, so, and I'm not going back on that step.
There you go.
It just depends. I don't know. I still think in my heart of hearts we'll see Cody back in AEW one day. I'm not saying it's tomorrow, but I think one day we'll see it happen.
And if I were AEW, I'd want nothing to do with him. Don't get me started, Conrad.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like, I still think
I get it. You're right. I understand your logic. But if I were AEW, I want nothing to do with him.
I think in the world of wrestling, you can't hold on to those too long because eventually, you know what? Come here, brother. Let's make some money and sell that Ultimate Warrior comic book that no one bought and put it with those magazines.
Yeah,
that's how I got it.
You make a good point, though. Yeah.
I'm going to. I wanted to transition into a very specific way.
Then do it, man. Trust yourself.
No, I don't know how I want to do this because I have a double heart here. How do I want to? AEW. I want to talk about this. Do we talk about the good part or the bad part first?
Definitely the good. We need to highlight that.
No, because it's going to get real up in here too, I think. So, looking at everything that has happened with AEW, right? We did have a show, New Japan, Battle in the Valley. I thought this was great. You can watch it on Triller TV, New Japan World. Lots of good places to check this out. El Desperado defended against Ishimori. You had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hechicero. World-class Wrecking Crew versus Yo and Rocky Romero. Gabe Kidd and Tomohiro Ishii battled in a very good opening match. Takeshita versus Kushida. El Phantasmo versus Jeff Cobb. Lots of fun matches on here, right? And I'm not saying anything bad about that. I wanted to highlight that before we get into this. But the main focus was, what were we going to do with Gabe Kidd? Gabe Kidd just had that amazing match with Kenneth Omega. Some say match of the year contender right now. I don't know how you guys feel in the chat. I love the match.
It's early in the year, and for this particular stage, it was one of the best. It was the best match I've seen this year so far.
Absolutely, and we are here now looking at Gabe Kidd, Kenny Omega, and I think Kenny might have made a new star for them, or at least the top gaijin in New Japan. Cool. I love what we did there with that. It was great. What Kenny Omega are we going to get on AEW? Well, on Dynamite, Kenny Omega came out. Look at the nasty scar on his head. He came out and did his thing. He did well. I thought his promos were better. He wasn't all breathy and doing all that. I had fun with this, and I loved what they did with Will Ospreay even. Two former enemies might be teaming up to go up against the Don Callis family. The beef is still there because Don Callis' family has grown. He's added new people, and there's new people with confidence.
Yes, sir.
Jon Moxley. This is where I'm going to get into the nasty a little bit here. And then I'm going to bump in and out of the good and the bad. Jon Moxley, your AEW World Champion. You don't see the belt because the belt is not there. We don't know what happened to it. Is it in the briefcase? Maybe. He's going to be defending the title this Wednesday on Dynamite against Powerhouse Hobbs, who won that Casino Gauntlet match. Collision happened. I saw a lot of people ribbon on Collision for Jericho's performance. I saw stuff about Commander. I was very tired this week, Sean. Let me tell you this. if I ever like snap at people, or if they're ever like, man, what's wrong with Conrad? Sometimes there is too much like AEW hate that just gets sent to me, and I can't handle it for too much more. Like, I'm like, yo, enough. I'm sick of seeing this. I'm sick of hearing this.
I don't blame
Please chill.
I don't blame you.
It's annoying.
Yep.
It's annoying because I'm like, no one can be number 2, number 1, number 3 if you don't want them to be. Like, if you hate them, I don't see why you're talking about them this much.
That's a fact.
If you're invested, I get it. If you're coming with criticism, I get it. But if you're not watching, if you're not saying it from a caring place, I don't get it.
Talk your talk, Conrad. I hear no lies in what you just said.
I just don't like when that stuff happens. I say all that to say this. Don't bring that BS to me sometimes, because sometimes people don't like my clapbacks at them. Some things were about like Ricochet. Oh, he can't cut a promo. And I was like, he's better off in AEW than WWE. WWE would have gave him the mic.
I've said that, so
no, but it was a source that they sent to me, which actually started that beef. Like, it was like, yeah, don't send me that person. Certain people I don't mess with because I know what they do in this industry. Mm-hmm. I know how they get down with wrestling media. You can say a lot of things about me. You say a lot of things about Sean. I can tell you this: we ain't paid off. I'm not out here shilling. I can say tomorrow Dynamite sucks, and ain't nobody gonna tell me different. These are my true, genuine feelings when we talk about these shows. And I'm going to get real here for this Collision matchup. I see a lot of people. They're upset, Sean. Jon Moxley, the world champion. Why is he teaming with Chris Jericho? What is the purpose of this group is being questioned at this point. Rated R FTR. Why is he going after Adam Copeland? I thought his beef was with young guys. What are we doing with the Outrunners? Powerhouse Hobbs, though, they made him look good. This is where I'm like, well, say the good things. I like what they did. Hobbs reminds me of Lex Luger when they were first pushing him right now. Like, chair shot to the back, no sold. He's good. Big Bill had an amazing match with Adam Copeland, or excuse me, Cope. And
terrible.
What, that name? I think he just misses being Edge, and he.
No, that's fine. But sometimes everything for a four letter name is not the same as a 4-letter name.
Your isms. Edge is really a bad name too. We really get into the nooks and crannies of it, but look at how the Vince isms stick in. This goes into my why isn't Mercedes a great promo? I don't know. She was in NXT. You tell me. You guys are the ones developing these people. Who didn't do their job? You or her? Like come on. We're getting into this. Jon Moxley's at this point. Do we need to figure out a way to pivot away from this angle, Sean? Like, I'm asking you, you watch AEW. Do we need to move away from Moxley? The rumor is Darby Allin going to climb Mount Everest. You have to train for that. People have passed away from trying to climb this mountain. I hope people know this. This isn't a joke. He's trying to do something that's like death-defying. How long are we going to wait for this Darby Allin thing? Because everyone thinks that's who's going to become the champion. What do we do here, Sean? Like, what are your feelings on AEW? And do we need to pivot away from Jon Moxley now? Or is this angle salvageable, with a change?
I believe that my opinion about AEW should be valued for 2 reasons. Number 1, I want AEW to succeed. And number 2, I don't like AEW as much as you do. So I feel like I'm right there in the middle. The answer is yes. This Jon Moxley title reign has been very underwhelming. Sometimes you have storylines that need that extra sauce. And unfortunately, it looks as if there is no, forgive me for using this term, only thing I can think of, higher being, no higher boss, big boss in this storyline. At least not yet. And when you're having title defenses that are, like I said before, a bit underwhelming, it leads to an underwhelming title reign. I don't think Jon Moxley's been impressive. I think he's been very, very underwhelming compared to his previous title reign, which I thought was outstanding. I don't understand the difference. I guess it's just a difference between him being presented as a heel and now being presented as a heel compared to being presented previously as a babyface, kind of a rebel. He's still a rebel, but now he's like a rebel with a cause instead of rebel without a cause, if that makes any sense. You got to transition. And I don't think Darby Allin's the answer either. I think we need to get back to the Adam Cole conversation. We need to get back to an MJF conversation. We need to get back to a Swerve Strickland conversation, and somebody who I never thought I'd like, but he has played his role to a T, and I love it. We need to get back to a Hangman Adam Page conversation, because what's going on right now, the title picture in AEW has become very muffled and very stale, and I'm not impressed. And it's a shame because their talent pool is good enough to be entertaining, but this title reign has not.
Interesting. I'm going to the chat. I think a good chunk of the AEW hate is to make money off of the hate. You're not wrong with that. McKinney says the Death Rider story ain't it, boss. I'm not feeling it at all. I'm not saying Powerhouse Hobbs should win, but that belt needs to change hands now.
And I actually agree with McKinney completely. I'm not, as much as I like Hobbs, I think Hobbs needs to do things in baby steps. I think Hobbs would be an excellent TNT champion. I don't think necessarily he should be world champion, but the premise and logic that McKinney just talked about the title changing hands, I agree.
And I'm going to bring up something crazy too. This goes into deeper thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about Tony Khan's creative at this point? I know everyone thinks that like, Gomez, I'll call him Vince for this moment. Vince McMahon wrote everything. Vince McMahon did not write the 80s, Sean. That was Bruce Pritchard who wrote the Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth storyline. Bruce Pritchard wrote that.
You ain't telling me nothing, brother.
Who wrote the Attitude Era? That was Vince Russo.
Vince and Ed Pereira.
Vince oversees. I feel like Tony's in the room with them trying to give ideas and stuff too. Maybe Tony needs to back off because I believe this, Sean. How long does a good booker usually last? I mean, think about it in your head, honestly.
A good booker is usually on top of his game for about 4 or 5 years, probably a little less.
There you go. And then you got to switch. You have to pivot. Tony's time has come up. He lasted as long as some of the best of them, but now maybe we need to make a move. Do you need to do that though? And here's the problem. I hear everyone say like Tony should give up creative. Tony should give up creative. To who? There's no Bill Watts anymore who's going to come save the day or you think's going to save the day. Don't get me started on him. I know what you guys are thinking. I know too. But and I could go off about it. But there's no Jerry Jarrett anymore. There's no one who could be like, I've got some answers for what we could do. There's no, tell me, who are we going to call? Court Bauer? He's got MLW. You want Delirious from Ring of Honor? Is he going to do it all for you? Who do you call? There's no one. You're taking a chance.
Yeah, it's pretty much rolling the dice no matter which way you go.
Right. And this is an industry effect that has happened for years.
I mean, unless you want to pluck somebody from the WWE creative room, like an intern or like an assistant, like, you know, it's similar to the logic of like hiring somebody's defensive coordinator to be your head coach.
It's no different than, and I'm glad we brought that up because it gets back to like the Tomlin conversation. Are you releasing him because the stories have been awful? Is it Tony's fault or is it the writer's fault? You know what I mean? Like you have to look at those questions too. Who's to blame? We don't know. We're not in those rooms. We don't know what's going on with that stuff. Yeah, it just depends. Going back to McKinney here real quick. Don't blame NXT. I could teach you how, but it's on you to use it properly.
I hear what he's saying. He's talking referencing the Mercedes Moné and Ricochet promo situation.
Yeah, I can also punch back and say this though: who from NXT has become a star? That's a born NXT wrestler. Like they started in NXT, they became the guy from NXT. I'm talking NXT
all time.
I'm just saying, who's the guy who like made it to the tippy top? And it's like NXT works. Look at.
Well, I don't think you want to go all time because all time you can talk Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, blah blah blah. But over the past,
they're not NXT though.
Right? No, they are.
But where did Seth come from?
There you go. Good point. Very good point.
He had fundamentals.
No, you're 100% right.
You could do it for the women's division. I could say Bianca. You could say the some of the 4 horsewomen. Sure. Charlotte never had experience, so she did the WWE training.
Clown says Bray Wyatt. I mean, technically, that's Husky Harris. God rest his soul.
Yeah, did he? I mean, we had a lot of issues with how he was booked too.
Look, the point we're trying to make, or you're trying to make, which I'm a co-sign, not many.
Not a lot. Mm-hmm. There's not many Baron Corbins out here in these streets, like setting it up. You know what I mean? And that's no shade to Baron Corbin. I think Baron Corbin is great. I'm just saying you're not giving the chances to those guys because you're pushing Cody left and he came in. That's telling people leave and come back in. They're telling you go get experience elsewhere. If it's working so well, why are we doing WWE ID? Like, you wouldn't be doing some of these things too. Vinny says MJF is stale. This company is stale. How do you unstale it, Vinny? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm asking. Like, what?
You need hot sauce, man. You need hot sauce, and that hot sauce would have been a higher boss in the Moxley storyline. It doesn't have to be, and this is what I also want to make sure people understand. It doesn't have to be Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon would have been unbelievable, but it doesn't have to be Shane McMahon. Them bringing back Edge to be with our FTR to me is stupid. Edge should have been the guy who was behind the Moxley situation. Edge already has experience being a leader of a group. Hello.
But Edge also was part of the Carolinian effort, and everyone knows that he's boys with FTR. Like, it's just you know what I mean?
But all those ties outside of outside of wrestling, or outside of the realm of AEW, that doesn't always translate, Conrad. Can I be honest with you? You know that I like AEW, and you know that I wanted to succeed. When Edge came out with FTR, I couldn't have cared less. If he was the higher boss for John Moxley, I would have cared.
See, I visualize what would happen afterwards. And maybe this is me because I deal with pessimistic AEW fans often. I could tell you what they were going to say. That's it. Weak. Done.
You mean who cares? You mean if Edge was the big boss?
Yeah. Okay. Who cares?
I can only speak for me, bro. Mm-hmm. If Edge was the big boss, I would have been like, yo, that's pretty dope.
T-Ferg says, get rid of Death Riders and put Pac with House of Black. Give Lashley, Hobbs, Swerve, Ospreay, Omega, Brody, and Adam Page a title run. It's a lot of people, brother. That's a lot of people. You don't have that much time.
To me, you need to make some changes in grouping. To me, I would have aligned Ricochet with somebody other than the Hurt Business. The Hurt Syndicate. I would have aligned Ricochet with Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana. That ship has sailed now, obviously. But when this thing first got started, I would have had Swerve recruit Ricochet.
See, I like what they did with Ricochet instead. That's how I would have did it. Bring him in.
What they did with Ricochet's a man without a home.
No. But I like how they brought him in, though. Okay. He's going to get the pop. And then I want to turn you heel because we've seen you as a face and we know how this is going to go. Exactly. So I want to turn you heel. And I like the crazy, nerdy, CPA. I think I'm cool. Like, it's going to be great. I think him and Swerve are about to have a banger Lucha Underground match. Remember who said this? Prince Puma, Killshot. I think they're going to have a match like that. But you got to be able to get there. And Guy Will Gamble brought up a good point with all the people he had mentioned and wanting to, and like who you said, does AEW need to move in a more youthful direction, or do you not reward talent like Christian Cage though too? Christian's got that title shot. You could always switch things with Christian. Like, yo,
and they're waiting too long with that too. They're waiting way too long.
Right. Well, Hubs, you know what I'm about to say too, though. Mm-hmm. Long-term storytelling is king. Right. This works. It's okay.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
It's so annoying. It's hard. Delay Grats, Tony Khan is head of creative, but he's not the only writer in AEW. Never has been. That is also true. How Tony can't be soft 1 minute and then the next minute he's Mr. He does it all. He takes everything. It's all his fault. No, sometimes the wrestlers book themselves. Moxley might be the problem for this storyline. We don't know. I don't know how much say he has on this. How do I know? They work with people in this company, so maybe it's like, dude, that idea ain't working. Does he need to take more control?
This incarnation of Jon Moxley is borderline cringe. It's like I'm not feeling it, bro.
But it's worked for Marina though. It's helped Marina Shafir.
Okay, but and I'm not mad at that. But we're talking about the world heavyweight champion. Like, if the world heavyweight champion is not putting butts in seats, we have a problem.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the key. And I think ticketing is an issue. There's a lot of things that we could get into. Lower your ticket prices even more than you already have. Darby Allin's on his last ghost with this one. Yeah, Darby is bugging a little bit. I'm going back in. Freddie Prinze could help. Freddie Prinze is trying to start his own company, though. Just like I thought Scott D'Amore would be great, but he went to Maple Leaf Pro. What is this?
Yeah.
Like, okay. I like AEW, but I'm not a hardcore fan, but I want them to succeed as a staff, promotion, and crew.
And I appreciate that, what McKinney just said. You don't have to be a number one fan of AEW to not want them to fail. Jeez.
Right? NXT or FCW. I was just saying, who has WWE built from the ground up and they made them a star? Like WWE.
I'm glad Jocelyn brought that up, because if that's the case, you have to say Roman Reigns.
Right. Well, that's FCW too. But yeah, Roman, did he have wrestling experience before this? I don't know.
Nah,
I don't think so.
That brother was coming straight from Georgia Tech, bro.
Vikings.
Georgia Tech.
I want AW to succeed, but TK better figure out something, or his promotion might turn into what the Jaguars currently are.
Oh boy!
I thought Kenny as a higher power would have been good. I don't know if Kenny would have worked in that spot.
Oh, but it would have been more interesting than nothing. There was no. Do you understand, Conrad? Let me tell you something. And you're an AEW aficionado. I'm just an AEW fan. You're an AEW aficionado, and I'm about to school you right quick.
Well, I'm going to school this comment too.
The whole world, the whole chat. Let me know. I need yes or no if I'm right or wrong. The entire wrestling world was looking for a big boss at World's End. The entire wrestling world. And we were all disappointed. That was massively disappointing. At World's End, I'm talking about World's End specifically, when there was no big boss, for me, it was like letting the air out of a balloon. This storyline needs a big boss. If Jon Moxley is it, if the Death Riders are it, that's a problem. Need I use the 3-letter word that's forbidden on this show? Starts with an M? Mid? Little mid?
Kenny couldn't be the higher power. It wouldn't work. Why would Jon Moxley listen to Kenny Omega? That's someone who he came in beefing with. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, Kenny talked me into this, and I see his ways. They have two different styles too.
Why would
like
The Rock and Cody Rhodes be hugging on television?
Listen, we're talking about things that don't make sense right now, and we're both on the same page. Stick with me.
I'm with you.
But I don't think Moxley and Kenny make sense even.
Edge would have been better than nothing.
Edge would have been better than Kenny.
You know what would have been great? I know Christian has his own patriarchy right now. Christian would have been phenomenal. Imagine if Christian was behind this. Imagine it was a plan from the beginning of Christian Cage. Good Lord. I would have been thrilled.
I think with that, you're setting yourselves up for Millionaires Club versus New Blood, though.
Oh, Conrad, my brother, you're overthinking it. At the end of the day,
tell me who's in the group. Hold on, just listen. Who's in the group? If you say Christian.
Well, Christian, obviously Death Riders, and I forget the young lady's name.
Marina Shafir, Moxley, Claudio. You got a lot of older cats who've been around a while. They're not taking the pens. Yuta.
When I say you're overthinking, I'm being very simplistic in what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that we all need to agree, my brother, that nobody is not working. That this storyline needs something else.
Yeah, it needs some juice. I'm just asking, like, what's the juice thing that you can?
Would have been Adam Copeland. Realistically, the juice, like times 10, would have been Shane McMahon. But let's be realistic. Adam Copeland was the best choice. It should have been Adam Copeland. If Adam Copeland was healed from his leg injury. That would have been a perfect time to reintroduce him. This time as a heel. He's been head of an organization before the Judgment Day. It would have made perfect sense.
McKinney says, I understand what you're saying, but at the beginning of NXT was a who's who of the Indies, ROH, especially a lot of men and women who were trained before NXT. But if you go from now, Mello, Trick, Oba, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Mello, have you made him a big star? You haven't given him what you given Braun Breaker. Trick, sure. Great. Oba Femi, great. I hope these people all work out. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like you just mentioned ROH. You rated Ring of Honor, the company you made fun of for years. Don't get me on the bingo hall jokes, and we don't do that over here. If it wasn't for Punk and Danielson, they started taking chances on more Ring of Honor guys. Cool. But who did you make? Who did you build? Is Oba Femi going to be in the WrestleMania main event? Is Mello? Is Trick? That's what I'm waiting to see. Push them, or do they need to leave and then come back? Just putting it out there.
It's the latter.
Leave and come back, right? That's usually how it works. What if Christian cashes in during what looks like Cope and Mox at Revolution and wins? It could happen. That could be the plan. I don't know. Just like the wrestling world was looking for the devil payoff. Yep. Kenny is an EVP and gave Mox the keys to the kingdom to reshape AEW. Better. You would have to really talk me through, Clown. Like I'm gonna need some. What are they reshaping it to and why? That's where we've lost, I think, the plot with Moxley. Like what are we reshaping to and what is it? What do you want in the end? And I think they, like Sean said, you got to add some hot sauce on this to get focused. NXT was basically ROH with the bigger budget under WWE writers. Yeah, that's true. I said in the past the higher power should have been Cornette. You cannot have that man on your TV, bro. Not in AEW. Not after all the stuff he said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's too much right now. I like the logic from a storyline standpoint, but there's too much real life stuff that will prohibit that.
Yeah, too much heat right there to happen. We'll see what happens, man. That's one of the matches though for Maximum Carnage. And like I said, maybe you go with the shock win. What if Hobbs just clears everybody out from this group and Hobbs racks John Moxley? I'm thinking Lex Luger, Nitro. I remember watching that and I was like, oh my goodness, he did it. When the ref went, like he went crazy first. He was like, ring the bell, he quit. And I was like, Lex.
For his name.
Was it Randy Anderson?
There you go.
Was it Randy Anderson was the ref?
Good job.
I was almost going to say Mark Curtis. Randy Anderson, he's got him racked up. He's going crazy. What if you just let Hobbs do that? Like he just stopped everyone tonight and it's like, yo, Powerhouse Hobbs is the new world champ. Like, let's go. You could just say, have Kenny take the belt.
Some sauce, man.
I'm just saying it might be time to try to make a move. What's the best move? I don't know.
We're shaking things up a bit.
Let's stay on AEW here, Sean.
Yeah, sure.
Because we don't show them enough love. I showed you this earlier. AEW, All In Texas, later this year is now scheduled to go head-to-head with Saturday night's main event. Peacock is listing a live Saturday night's main event episode on July 12, 2025, same date as WWE's biggest show ever in North America.
WWE's a pathetic organization when it comes to stuff like this. It's a complete monopolizing of the airspace. It's going to split the audience. It's totally unfair. It's totally unethical, but it's not illegal. So what they're doing is perfectly within their rights. It's just wrong from an ethical standpoint. It's wrong, and it's very upsetting, honestly.
I don't even think it's wrong from an ethical standpoint. I just think it's petty.
No, I think it's wrong from an ethical standpoint because you can run that town any other day. That's ethic. That's an ethical dilemma. That's you know what? That's me sitting down and saying, you know what? This is going to really mess them up as it relates to how many tickets they can sell. I don't care. Let's move forward anyway. That's ethical.
They haven't announced the location of it.
Right. That's being unethical, Conrad.
It's designed with hatred, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I'd have to. We might have to look up the definition of unethical just so I can get it.
I'll look it up right now, brother. Because if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong, but I believe this is the very definition of unethical.
And it's a thin line in business. Trust me.
Oh, I'm not denying that. I said it's not illegal. There's a difference. The definition of unethical, according to Webster, not morally correct.
Like I said, it depends on what we're looking at. If we're, like you said, from a fan standpoint, it sucks if you were a fan of both. They're making you kind of say, well, you want to come to our show or do you want to watch this at home?
Yeah, but again, when you don't have to run the same city at the same time and you choose to, and you are, so look, even as much of an AEW fan as I am, I'm not stupid. WWE is the bigger entity. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. This is not we just happen to be in, Conrad, help me out. We don't just happen to be in Texas. What part of Texas?
Where the Rangers play, Globe Life Field.
Yeah, we don't happen to just happen to be in the same town in Texas that you are this particular night of your biggest show.
Well, it's not. We don't know if it's in Texas.
Well, I thought it was. My fault. This one's in San Antonio coming up in January. Okay, so it's not in the same. Okay, so maybe from a ticket stand, but it's still going to split viewership.
Yeah, it's definitely meant to say like, yeah, don't watch that. We got this card over here, which.
There's
like
nothing,
I said,
woo! There's nothing else going on. But you know what? There is something else going on, Starcade, because Survivor Series is coming, and Survivor Series is going to take half of your viewers.
Yeah. E says not competition, just counter program everything they do. Even though AEW programmed every show, it doesn't go against WWE and UFC.
Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, Brother Conrad. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought Guy Will Gamble was blessing me with the location of Saturday Night's Main Event.
No.
Guy Will Gamble. That's the location of All In. Okay. Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
Jesse says watch them both at the same time. If you're watching from home, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's no problem to watch at the same time at home. Yeah.
If you want to go. I mean, there's still 8,000 tickets, I believe, for All In. How is WWE charging ticket prices? I'd rather stay at home. $50. I don't blame you for that. What's the difference between AEW running Hammerstein a few weeks before GCW after GCW announced they were going to be there?
It's not the same day. This is on the same day, Cleasy. I appreciate where you're coming from, but let me tell you something, man. If Conrad is running everything pro wrestling and I decide that I want to run Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on the same night at the same time, I am trying to adversely affect Conrad's show. Nobody can tell me different.
I wouldn't take offense.
Oh, shut up.
Guy Will Gamble, yes, exactly.
Yes, you would, and yes, you should. I take it back. You shouldn't, because I don't have a bigger show as you do. But you know my point. You understand my point.
You gotta move on. Just keep your head up and move on. Shock the world. I'm with you, Conrad. Something needs to happen. Oh, thank you, McKinney. Delay Grat says the wrestling war is on, folks. WWE is a monopolist and does not want any. I'm getting some feedback, Sean. My bad.
No problem.
Let me see. Delay Grat says the wrestling war is on. WWE is a monopolist and does not want any other companies on TV. If TNA gets a deal, no more NXT partnership. By the way, anyone who doesn't understand how WWE is a monopolist was born in 2004. Let's see. NBC is calling the day Saturday Night's Main Event, but WWE ain't innocent in this. Yeah. It's All In, pay-per-view over TV anytime. Should be.
I would think so. That's a good take, Jesse.
GCW looks like they're going to have a good crowd. Not the sellout they wanted, but they weren't selling out beforehand either. Not to be mean to GCW. I disagree with you, Big Dog. It's business, nothing personal. If I'm bigger than the competition, I'm going to book a show that day at the same time. I'm trying to erase them. You want morality? Oh, yeah. Well, he's saying, yeah, business people don't have morals.
You can read that last line, go to church. I am going to go to church, and I'm happy to go to church. Anyway, Rafael Delegato, let me say this, man. What you just said is kind of exactly what I said. I didn't say it was against the law. I didn't say it was a business practice that should be considered illegal. I said it's immoral and unethical. Now, you're saying who cares about morality? Okay, that's your perspective. I respect that.
Well, he's saying from business perspective, that's how people feel. Like they don't care.
Conrad, did you ever hear me say that I thought it was a bad business move for WWE to run the same time?
I think I'm just trying to put in perspective what he's saying. He's saying business people don't care about none of that.
I got you. And when I'm asking you in response to that is, have you ever heard me say that WWE, when we talked about this earlier this morning, when I was sitting at my desk at work, did I write back to you and say this is not a good business decision? It's a great business decision. It's just jacked up.
I say petty. It's like, it's super like, why you don't need to pretend and do this stuff, you know?
It's an unnecessary jab at your opponents. Was Eric Bischoff giving away the results to WWE illegal or against the rules? No, but it was still freaking
unethical. It was corny. Yeah, petty. WWE is so petty. They are truly the Walmart of wrestling. Crush the little guy at all costs. Business isn't about fairness, I guess.
Right. It's not about fairness, but what they saying about crushing the little guy, my question to you would be this. T-Ferg, I think we stand in agreement. My question would be this to you, Conrad. If I can be successful without crushing you, or be successful and crush you, and I choose the latter, that means I'm a scumbag. That's my only point, and I'm making it real plain. That's as plain as I can make it. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. If I can be successful and not crush my competition, or I could be successful and crush my competition, and I choose to crush my competition, I'm a scumbag. That doesn't mean I'm doing anything illegal. I'm a scumbag. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
Pro Wrestler Shoe says WWE clearly has a loyal audience and AEW isn't trying to build a new audience. So their same audience will watch All In, and same goes for WWE. Perhaps. Delayed Grants, Raphael is right. WWE is a big business. They are monopolists like Meta and Alphabet, and they have already lost civil antitrust lawsuits to MLW. Yeah, because I don't know why you needed to stop them from having a TV deal anywhere near you.
That's exact.
Rob says this is a continuous petty skirmish at best between billionaires who don't morally give a darn about any of us at the end of the day. True.
This is essentially like WWE having its own podcast and saying, you know what? We don't want Clash of the Podcast to be on the air anymore. So we're gonna get on top of them, and we're gonna run a podcast at the same time as them, and we're gonna monopolize their audience, and we're gonna run them out of business. That's the same thing. Especially if you want to take it a little bit smaller, no disrespect intended, the MLW thing is insane.
It was super, like, you didn't need to even do that.
Like, for what? Like, what is your problem? Like, you this is like beyond, like, you're a jackass. Like, there's something wrong with you.
Well, let's remember this date. Look at these dates here for WrestleMania. Now, if you're an AEW fan, you know this is Vegas. It's April 19th, April 20th. In a month later, they usually run Vegas. Do you think any Vegas fans are going to be able to afford it after seeing the ticket prices that WWE charges to go to Double or Nothing? If Tony Khan does Double or Nothing in Vegas, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm pretty sure about it. Like, you have to move that show. You have to.
Yeah.
There's no other choice. I've been saying it for months and months and months. Do not do this show in Vegas. You cannot. It's a problem. And I get it. Maybe Vegas was the largest bidder. Looking at Minnesota right now. Wrong, but whatever. I won't even get into that either. But they're running Vegas. I get it. And I think that's where TKO likes to have things set up. It seems like they might build a performance center out there too. Fine. Dandy. Great. What do we get out of this at the end of the day? Like, WWE, be number one. Enjoy being number one. Just be number one. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know what the end game is. Maybe once they crush their spirits, then they'll be like, okay, we've done enough. I don't know when you stop. At what point do you stop?
I just, to me, it's just unnecessary. Anything you do to hurt someone else that's unnecessary, it's just ridiculous to me. And Jesse, big shout out to Jesse, big friend of ours, but he says to us, why would you not want to crush your competition? Amazon ain't thinking about Walmart. Walmart ain't thinking of trying to help Amazon. And he also goes on to say, I honestly think it's a terrible business mindset trying to help competition. WWE not running the same night as AEW is not to me okay. Let me rephrase that. If WWE were not to help or were not to run the same night as AEW, that wouldn't be helping the competition. That would simply be, I'm over here, you're over there, you do your thing, I do mine. But if you decide to run Saturday night's main event on the same night as a night that was a wrestling night far before you thought about it, and you're big brother and you know that you can crush these guys, now AEW is probably still going to do well that night. It's their biggest pay-per-view of the year. But it's still a petty and unnecessary maneuver. It's a petty and unnecessary maneuver. You could have had it the Saturday before, could have had it the Saturday. And by the way, how much do you really care about the fans? Hello, McFly. So you'd rather run on the same night instead of staggering it to a different night and giving the fans that you care so much about 2 nights to enjoy wrestling instead of 1? Has anybody thought about that? Has anybody thought about that? Just to use nice, easy numbers. I can run on the 1st while you run on the 8th, and and the fans will be able to enjoy WWE on the 1st and AEW on the 8th. But now what we have to do is we're going to run on the 8th while you run on the 8th, and now you're going to split the audience.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. They should run Atlantic City for Double or Nothing. Raw Netflix is for new fans. Big brothers tend to pick on little brothers. Adapt or get walked on. I mean,
yeah, that's not the point, Raphael. You're right, but that's not the point. It's unnecessary is my point.
Amazon and Walmart are bad examples because both are already under antitrust investigations for anti-competitive practices that hurt customers, employees, and vendors. Why root for monopolies?
Yo, we should hire Delayed Grass as our legal advisor.
I was going to just say that, but he beat me to it. I'm just tired of the woe is me talking. Poor AEW, get better and you ain't got to worry about it.
Jesse. Okay.
Touche. Let's get into one last thing here for AEW, then we'll move on. Malachi Black. Looks like he might be gone. Where do you think he ends up, Sean?
WWE, NXT.
I don't think he goes back to NXT. I can't see him back down there. He's main roster. Is he a main eventer in your opinion? If you get him, do you put this guy in the main event? Like, yes, right now.
Me, he'd be on Raw or SmackDown, but I don't trust WWE to do that.
But where do you place him though?
He'd be in the Intercontinental United States Championship picture.
To start?
Immediately, and then he'd move his way up the card, yes.
Okay. Interesting things to see. I don't see too many people saying like he's going to TNA. He's going to do it. Delay Gratz. Welcome to the club, I'll just say. I won't even say what you put in there.
We'll talk.
Me either, but I know a bunch of them. I'm happy that Buddy and Brody could get a push off of this. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too. Like, Buddy's still sticking around. He signed a multi-year contract. Brody Lee might get a push out of this. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Six says he's definitely going back to WWE with Undertaker retired and Bray gone. We need someone to fill that dark, evil persona. I mean, you do have the Wyatt Six too. That's there. I mean, you could give him a group too. I don't know. I don't know what you do with them. It's intriguing.
He'd be like a co-leader of the Wyatt Six, along with Bo Dallas.
You could do that.
Being co-leader is because I want to give respect to Bo Dallas because he's Bray Wyatt's brother. Because honestly, if it wasn't that dynamic, I would just say give the Wyatt Six to Malachi Black. There's
some fantastic matchups. Him against Gunther and many others you can get into. I think he's WWE bound. I don't know if the plan is he won't be in time for the Rumble, but maybe Mania.
Well, look, I think he's WWE bound. I mean, I have my reservations about that from a career trajectory standpoint, but he deserves to be in the big leagues. He's a big leaguer. He's a tremendous talent.
Let's talk TNA Genesis real quick, and then we'll run down Raw, and we'll sell this stuff. Let's go. TNA Genesis is happening at this. Where is the show now? I don't even remember. Sean, help a brother out, man.
I got you.
TNA Genesis, this was an old school TNA pay-per-view from back in the day, and they brought it back upon bringing back the TNA name. This used to be like Hard to Kill, and we're gonna see what happens with this. I do kind of miss Scott D'Amore a little bit being part of it. It feels weird, and TNA's been on this upward trajectory, but I also see them doing things that I'm like, this is not good.
Well, they're on an upward trajectory, and
Dallas, Texas.
so is the city of Garland, Texas, where it's going to
Oh, Garland, Texas. Okay.
at the Curtis Cutwell Center.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. We got Spitfire versus Ash and Heather by Elegance. So we have some tag teams here. Who you got in this one? What are you thinking here, Sean?
I'm going with Spitfire to retain their titles.
I agree. And I do believe Ash by Elegance, the former Dana Brooke, has re-signed with TNA. I think I recently read that. So that's good news for anyone who is a fan. And
I
you
like
could
the transition into this tag team, by the way. I think that's good.
Yeah, better move. Also, you could order this on Triller TV, or you could watch on the TNA app if you guys are looking forward to looking at this show. TNA Genesis. We also will have Moose defending his X Division Championship against Ace Austin.
I love Ace Austin, but I'm a big fan of Moose as well, and I think he still has more time with that that X Division Championship over his shoulder.
Yeah, I don't see Moose losing quite yet, but I do like Ace Austin a lot, and I think it could be his moment to elevate. Prayers to Chris Bay too. I don't know if he's out here listening, but prayers up to
Chris Bay. I mean, Ace has to do his thing, right? But we all know the circumstances that brought this about, and we hope that Chris Bay gets well soon.
100%. Ash resigned or re-signed? Re-signed. She's sticking around. We got Josh Alexander versus Mike Santana. This is a layup to me. This is doing the honors on the way out. I don't know where Josh Alexander winds up. He could be back in NXT with Ethan Page. That might be the best thing for them to do. He could end up in AEW. I don't know. But Mike Santana is here. And I think Mike Santana is who you need to build this company around.
Well, this is twofold for me. Like you said, Josh Alexander's doing the honors. Plus, and even more importantly, Mike Santana to me is a future TNA heavyweight champion. So Mike Santana definitely wins this match.
Right. Sick, you're not going to get a rise out of me. You'll see why. There's a match on here. I don't know if you've been watching TNA, but you'll see why, where I'm going to get sad. Masha Slamovich is defending the title against Rosemary. It was cool to see Raven come back. Yeah. Raven came back, and Rosemary, I won't say what she held up to his throat, but she threatened him. And Raven said, why don't you do a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match? So they're bringing it back. I think Masha Slamovich walks out with the win here personally, but
a good old COHOF match taking place at Genesis. The champion retains.
Right. We'll also have the Hardys versus the Rascals here for the TNA tag titles.
I actually have a sneaking feeling about this one. I think the Rascals are going to win the belts.
Yeah, I want to go with the Rascals too. I just don't know how long the Hardys are going to be sticking around. You heard Jeff Hardy's claim he could have been bigger than John Cena if he had his head on straight?
I read that, and I do remember Jeff Hardy being ultra popular. I mean, if you erase all of Jeff Hardy's outside the ring antics, he may have a point. It's hard to say considering the fact that John Cena is going to go down in my book as a top 10 guy, not greatest of all time. It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
You'll need a big eraser for that. I will like to state as well.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a long thinking game. Maybe we'll put that in the comments. Tell me, would Jeff Hardy be a bigger superstar than John Cena?
If he was not in trouble, right?
Correct. Jordan Grace, Tessa Blanchard. I really want to pick Jordan, but if I'm betting with money, Tessa wins. But
I'm not happy about the result of this match, and I'm just leaving it at that.
Yeah, they're gonna probably carry water. Yo, I saw someone say the funniest thing. Do you remember who was it? Austin Aries and John Morrison, Johnny Impact for the world title, and he walked out. Like he got up after his move, and then he no-sold it and left.
Aries received the twisted moonsault.
Someone said Grace should do that at the end of this match. Just be like, "Yep, I'm out. Peace."
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not a happy camper when it comes to this one.
Main event: Nick Nemeth defends the TNA, and I heard he re-signed too for a short-term deal. Mm-hmm. Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship.
My answer to this question is simply, if not now, then when?
Do you care if Joe Hendry wins now?
I do, still, barely. But if he doesn't win this time, I'm done. I'll pick Joe Hendry just for kicks.
I'm picking Joe Hendry too because he's still got a little bit of time. But if you don't do this, then what are we doing?
This is it for me. You better do it this time.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see here. Mike Santana wins. Tessa wins because this is Jordan Grace's last TNA match. Wonder where she's going. Hardy Boys will win then show up to NXT to build up some new guys. Get a feeler tested if the Hardy Boys can return to WWE and retire. Jordan,
WWE regardless in the Hall of Fame, so
it's Joe Hendry or bust. That's true. Now I've been watching Tessa Blanchard. I'll continue not to watch as they signed female Hogan over there.
Yep.
I believe in Joe Hendry in the TNA Men's World Championship. I feel bad I haven't seen how good TNA has been, but I'm not ready to pay. I don't listen.
I can't blame you, Jocelyn.
I have a bad feeling Cass is going to cash in his title shot. They could do that. If they do that, man, that's crazy work. Belt Hendry, screw Ziggler. They run the risk of turning him into the next case of who cares. Joe Hendry, just so he could walk out with the title at the Royal Rumble. Could be.
Good point.
Why is Jordan? No comment. I'm not saying that. I'm trying not to be mean. Dynamite review. Me and Derek will have one this Wednesday coming up. Sean, do you have any projects coming up for yourself?
Hubbernomics, a couple more Hubbernomics coming down the pike. Still to be determined, but just keep a lookout. And if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that award show Thursday. I'm just waiting for the final confirmation from
Royal Rumble preview show on the Thursday before the Royal Rumble.
Facts. We will be handling that and taking care of that. Monday Night Raw tonight. You got a street fight. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Please end this. For the love of everything. Please end this.
And I would say that in order for it to end, it would have to be Priest that wins the match.
For sure. Lyra Valkyria, Dakota Kai. Who's the first ever women's Intercontinental champ, Sean? I got Lyra.
Going against the great. I'm going to say Dakota Kai.
Okay. I got Lyra. Chad Gable is going to face against a random luchador tonight. Who could it be?
It's going to be Rey Mysterio. No, it's going to be Penta, and Penta wins.
They already put his merch up.
Yep.
Sweet merch, man. Happy for Penta. Have fun. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser is also on the card.
I'm going to go with Kaiser.
Yeah, I think he's got big things for 2025. We got Rhea Ripley. She's going to be talking. Sean sent me these wonderful graphics. We also have Gunther, the world champion, will be on the show tonight. Where was he last week? No one knows. And CM Punk's on the show tonight. So tune in. Watch Monday Night Raw.
I like to call it a realistic edition of Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yeah, Penta's debut is what I'm looking forward to. Me too. I want to check it out and watch it for sure.
Yep.
We got a couple minutes here before Raw starts. We got 3 minutes. Sean, take us out, my brother.
Yeah, man. Great episode as usual, man. Conrad Cushman on top of his game, the top analyst in the game, in my opinion, when it comes to podcasting pro wrestling. Obviously, the chat has been fantastic as usual. We appreciate you guys greatly. We appreciate your continued expertise that you guys bring to the show, as well as your participation, man. So make sure, like Conrad was saying, that you tune in to Conrad and my guy Derek this coming Wednesday night at 10 p.m. right here on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel for their amazing AEW review. Make sure you click that subscribe button here on EPW and over on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. The tag is actually Hub W Weekly on YouTube to make sure that you're ready for any new Hubbonomics that come out, as well as getting ready for our Clash of the Podcast special on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel, as we will be doing a preview of the Royal Rumble on January 30th. So on behalf of my good friend and broadcast colleague, Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. I'm Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. He's Everything Pro Wrestling. And we collectively are Clash of the Podcast. So until next time, God bless. Be encouraged. We'll see you next Monday, y'all. And evil never prevails. Peace.